was a small dragon whose scales the color of warm twilight, and wings that whispered like turned pages. He lived under an old silver maple at the edge of a forest where the trees kept their secrets and the stars leaned low to listen. Each night the air smelled of moss, fresh rain, and the last sweet of summer berries, and the forest hummed a lullaby of tiny wings and soft leaves.
One evening, as a slow, sleepy moon pulled itself up over the treetops, Moonbeam felt a gentle tug in his heart, a curious kind of wanting. He wanted to know where the forest's hush went when it stretched on, and whether the first star had a favorite story. He folded his wings, packed a small pouch of pebbled treats and a ribboned fern leaf map, and decided to follow the night whisper trail, a path that shimmered faintly with dew and only showed itself to those who listened closely.
At the foot of the maple, Moonbeam met Nettie, a soft-eyed owl with wings patterned like cloud shadows. Nettie blinked slowly the way owls do when they decide something is perfectly safe and worth doing. I heard the leaves sigh differently tonight, she said in a voice like velvet, and my heart thinks there is a new place to learn about. May I come?
Moonbeam tucked his tiny claws together and smiled.
It's more fun with friends. Together they stepped on to the trail. The path made a little crinkling sound beneath their paws and talons, like pages turning in a book of secret songs. They walked past a pond where the water kept a silver promise to mirror the moon. Little frogs held a quiet concert, plinks and soft woolly crooks,
so low that the notes seemed to curl around the edges of their feet.
Fireflies hovered in slow conversation, blinking in patterns that looked a lot like punctuation marks, pauses and breaths. Moonbeam and Nettie followed the rhythm, their footsteps falling in time with the natural hush. As they ventured deeper, the trees leaned closer, their leaves were listeners. Each rustle carried a story from somewhere else in the wood. A squirrel paused on a branch and tipped an acorn toward them, a polite way of saying good evening.
Travel safe, he seemed to chatter, and with a flick of his tail he vanished.
Soon they reached a clearing ringed with soft moss.
In the center stood a circle of stones that glowed faintly, as if each rock held a bead of moonlight. Inside, Nettie landed on the largest stone and rustled her wings, making a gentle bell-like sound. The stones answered with a low humming whirl, a note that stretched slow and calm like warm honey.
Moonbeam lay down on the moss and felt the sleep thready hum seep into his scales, softening the little knots of worry that sometimes lived behind his ribs. Listen,
Nettie said the star above them seemed to lean close,
like an old friend bending in to share the end of a well-loved tale. In the hush, a tiny wind moved through the branches.
It wasn't a noisy wind,
it was the kind that carries the scent of distant rain and the memory of sun-warmed seeds. On the far edge of the clearing, something small and glowing blinked awake. It was a snail with a shell of pearly opal, and where it slid, tiny flowers opened in its wake. Pale blue and silver blooms that smelled faintly of bedtime stories. The snail looked up at them with eyes that took their time to see things.
I follow the slow stars.
It said very softly, they teach me how to settle.
Moonbeam's whiskers twitched.
How do you settle? He asked, because settling was a new sort of adventure. He had not tried much.
The snail hummed and offered a tiny petal.
Let the world carry its own hurry. Place each breath like a pebble in a stream. Watch it ripple and go on. Learn what the moss knows to hold, to give back warmth.
They stayed a while, letting breath become pebbles, watching ripples move across Nettie's closed eyelids.
A pair of starlings added a quiet chorus, their notes feathering like soft paper onto the air. Each sound was small and careful, careful as a kitten folding itself into a lap. When they rose, the trail curved upward toward Whispering Ridge, where leaves told riddle dreams and the air tasted of sweet hay on the ridge. The sky opened wide and spilled stars like cups of light. Moonbeam had never been so high. His wings fluttered like question marks. Nettie perched closer to the edge, feathers ruffled into a halo.
Beneath them, the forest looked like a quilt.
Patches of shadow and sparks stitched together by silver thread. Everything looks small from here, Nettie murmured.
Not less
Important, just steadier, even the bustling thing.